You're watching Q in the streets. Q in the streets. Said you're watching Q in the
It's Q in the street. I love everybody here. They've been good to me.
Tashina Arnold, and it's Q in the street.
For Q in the streets, you need to make sure you go to his bio right now and click that link, okay?
What's up, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Q. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to.
What's up, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Q. But back in the building with another video. Before I start, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell. What's up, y'all? I hope you guys are doing fine in this quarantine. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are, staying hydrated and getting as much air as possible. But make sure you guys are, again, washing your hands during this time. Also, make sure you guys are spending some quality time with your family, spending some quality time with your mate, with your boo. And just remember that, life is short, and just to cherish times like this. I know a lot of times, we look at times like this as a sad thing, but on the flip side of that, I want you guys to look at this as a great positive thing, because sometimes we do get so busy in life that we do forget about our families. But speaking of families, we love our Real Housewives of Atlanta family. So this is season 12, episode 19, called Full Ruined Peaches. Full Ruined Peaches. Now, how I'm feeling about this week's episode is it wasn't super juicy and crazy and all those kind of things. However, on the flip side of that, I do feel like this episode really was one of the probably most rawest episodes that we've seen in a while. And I say that because I feel like we kind of saw deeper of why the girls are actually upset and mad with each other versus just like throwing like the typical iceberg shade, or it's kind of just staying safe. Like, I felt like Kenya opening up to NeNe and saying like, hey, I'm still holding on to you calling me a buffalo, or all of those things. So before I get out of order, let me follow by my notes. So the episode opens up with the fight between NeNe and Kenya, and at this point, NeNe is getting ready to spit on Kenya. I think she was throwing popcorn at her, and then she tried to spit out of her mouth. Ooh! NeNe, we love you, girl, but you can't. I know sometimes she deserve it, but NeNe, you can't be out here spitting on nobody, mama. That's just point blank. That's it. That's period. Y'all know I love me some NeNe leaks, but we can throw shade, and we can do that type of stuff all day. But when it gets to the point where you have to physically spit on somebody, first of all, I feel like when you spit on somebody, my father taught me it's a couple of things that you don't do to a person. You don't kick a person, because my dad said you kick dogs. You don't kick people. So my dad takes that very serious, and we also take spitting on a person. When you spit on somebody, that is just the lowest level of disrespect. It's disgusting. It's kind of like you're nothing. And when you spit at a person, it's kind of like saying you're nothing to me. Like you're at the bottom of my shoe. And if you're from the deep south, when we say stuff like you're at the bottom of the scum, like when you say stuff like that, like you're trash. So for NeNe to try to spit on Kenya, do you guys think their beef is that deep? Do you guys really feel like their beef is that deep? Because, NeNe goes away and she comes back, and Kenya expresses to NeNe and says, NeNe, I'm still mad at you for calling my kid a buffalo. I was like, Kenya, are you serious? Like, is that really the reason that you're like this upset at NeNe? And why you guys feud have just continued through all these years? Because if you guys go and watch Kandi online speak on it, you kind of hear her say the same thing. Like, out of all the fights and out of all the things that have happened on this show in our real life, you guys are upset about Kenya. You mad that NeNe called you a buffalo, and NeNe actually in that moment, which she rarely does, especially for Kenya, she apologized. She apologized to Kenya. So we was like, whoa, okay, well, maybe they finally gonna get somewhere. I feel like the apology. Do you guys feel like NeNe's apology to Kenya was genuine? And is that why she didn't accept it? Y'all let me know. I personally felt like it was genuine. I felt like NeNe was like, you know what, girl, if you felt that way, because we all know that kids are off limits. I felt like I was talking to you about you. And NeNe said, you know, when you in an argument with somebody, you just kind of throwing some stuff out your mouth. You're not really thinking. So NeNe wasn't thinking that she's pregnant. NeNe was just calling her a buffalo. Now, NeNe, we're not giving you a pass for that. However, we all can be like, okay, girl, we all have thrown some shade here and there, and you know, just kind of the whole carrying on. But do you guys feel like because it's NeNe that Kenya is just drawing it out longer than what it is? Because hell, Kenya has did way worse things, and I feel like some of the actions that she has done to people have been way worse. So Porsha, so this is how I feel. I feel like these girls was checking Kenya all night. So Porsha called out Kenya and was just like, hey, if I'm asking you, do you accept her apology? Do you accept her apology? Not without an extra, not without a rah-rah. She shut Cynthia down and she shut NeNe down. This is Porsha. She was like, listen, NeNe, Kenya. It's a lot of these girls' names, y'all. Kenya, are you willing to just accept her apology and move on? Kenya was just like, yeah, I accept her apology so that way that you can stop. Porsha stopped her right then and there and was like, listen, this is why we love Porsha. I say this every week. Porsha, what you not going to do, Kenya, what you not going to do is sit up here with this passive-aggressive tone and behavior and mannerisms towards me when I'm just sitting here trying to regulate. So I'm just go ahead and stop you in your tracks. Then you had Kandi turn right around right after Porsha and check Kenya for of the same thing. It was just like, Kenya, y'all, some of us in this group have experienced way worse than some of the things that what you and NeNe are fighting about. Y'all just trying to see who the baddest of the two is, when people in this group have experienced much more and everybody's in a better place and can move on. Why can you not forgive NeNe and just move on, Kenya? So Kandi, in that moment, we appreciate Kandi for that, because Kandi's sometimes more of the quiet one. She kind of just sit back. You know, she has an opinion. So, you know, if she's asking an opinion, she'll say something. But majority of the time, she doesn't. So, Kandi, we can appreciate you for that, because we all felt that. And she was just like, just accept the apology, Kenya. Like, this woman this is like the second or third genuine time she's tried to reach out and apologize to you just on this Athens, Greece trip alone. I know I talk fast. Are y'all keeping up? Y'all good? Okay, I can move forward. So Kenya picks it. This is how I do. I do feel like this. Kenya picks and chooses when the rules apply and when they don't. So Kenya sat up there tonight and said that NeNe tried to use her husband and her child against her. Kenya, you have to remember, sweetie, you know, when a black woman or a black or anybody that's trying to read, when they're trying to read, if they call you sweetie, they're trying to get ready to try to get you together, and you better watch that sneaky hoe, because anytime somebody calls you my love or sweetie, they're trying you. So Kenya, sweetie, you have to remember, you were just on the computer on Twitter a couple of years ago with Kim Zolciak's kid. You were calling her kids Bebe's kids. You have to remember the things that you did to Phaedra, and you were disrespecting her, you know, her marriage with Apollo. You have to remember the things that you did with, again, Kim Fields and her husband. There's another time. So now, when it's flipped on you and your husband and your marriage, the same rules don't apply. And so, Kenya, this is again where I personally have a problem with. When it's you who has the gun, shout out to my girl Kim Cruz and her song. When you got the gun, you good for shooting everybody else. But when we got the gun and it's time to talk about what you got going on, oh, everybody should have sympathy for me, and what I got going on is off limits. That's not how life works, Miss Ma'am. I just love Kandi in that moment, checking Kenya about getting over that situation. Again, there was so the episode kind of going on. I think it was NeNe, Porsha, and Tanya on one side of the pool, and then you had Kandi, Cynthia, and Kenya on somewhere in a beautiful setting. Athens, Greece is so beautiful, y'all. Oh my goodness. But you have them sitting around talking, and Kandi, you know, basically checked Kenya again. You know, both sides were talking about stuff, but it really wasn't enough for me to be sitting up here rambling about. But I just have to pinpoint out one important thing. We do see Kandi again check Kenya and be like, listen, friend, I understand how you feel. On the flip side of that, outside of you being upset because you did hit me when you was walking away now. But I'm glad Kandi didn't snap on her for, you know, hitting her or whatever she had going on, because you can genuinely see that Kenya was just upset in the moment, and that's why she stormed off. Speaking of that storming off, I have to agree with Kandi getting upset. I don't like that everybody's here to have a conversation, and you storming off when you ready, when you want to, and it's just kind of like, so now we're going to have to draw this out tomorrow for breakfast, lunch, dinner, until we try to get y'all two on the equal playing field again. Let's just squash it in this moment. So again, thank you, Kandi, because there she go again checking her. And it's kind of like, I'm glad that Kandi and Kenya have a relationship where, because Kenya what I see is Kenya don't do well with other like women like that. So I'm glad that her and Kandi have a relationship where it's just kind of like, listen, you a boss, I'm a boss, but we still can be friends. And they have a relationship. Like, sometimes you don't have that relationship where everybody can kind of check you on a certain situation, or kind of be like, okay, friend, I understand how you feel, but I want you to see what's on the flip side of that. So I am glad that Kandi and Kenya had that kind of relationship. I was really hoping so, you know, of course the episode, you know, continues to move on, really, you know, just kind of a lot of fillers. I was really hoping that this game that Cynthia and Kandi, this whole Greek, some type of like comedic skit, but it was going to be in the emphasis of like, I think women falling apart, or, you know, them playing some type of game. Basically, the game was going to be with Kenya and NeNe having a conversation, and NeNe was going to be played by Cynthia, and Kenya was going to be played by Kandi. Now, I think that it was a great game, super cute idea. However, I think NeNe would have accepted the game more if they would have chose 2 other people to go first. Like maybe Porsha and Cynthia, because they've had a run-in before. Porsha and Kandi, they've had a run-in before. NeNe and Porsha, they've had a run-in before. They all have pretty much had a little bump. I feel like if they would have chosen anybody else outside of NeNe and Kenya to go first for the first example, I feel like that would have not gotten NeNe so upset. Now, I was listening to Kandi talk about on Kandi Online as far as in that moment, was it the right moment? Because I feel like putting pressure on Kenya and NeNe, I feel like if they would have just gotten through another night of games, that they probably would have had a little bit more of a leadway for it to be a good night. So for the night to just be starting, and they starting the night with Kenya and NeNe as being the prime example, I think that kind of put NeNe in a mindset of, here comes the drama, here comes the foolishness, here comes the escalate, like here it goes, they want us to fight. So I feel like if the game was presented a different way, same concept but with just 2 other people, I do feel that way. I do feel that the game would have gotten over to NeNe a little bit better. Do y'all kind of follow what I'm saying? Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know how you guys are feeling about this particular episode. I did see Kandi's Kandi online, and in that video, it didn't seem that she was as upset or coming for NeNe as I thought. So let's see how this story kind of falls or lays out between NeNe and Kandi, because I also seen NeNe's video, and NeNe's video didn't seem like she was like actually upset with Kandi. Y'all drop down in the comments below and let me know how y'all feel about this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media sites at Quentin T. Harris. I'll see you guys later.